Okay, so 6, 5 is basically still two-step equations, but there's more of them. So now we're going to look at the equations where normally we would distribute and then solve, but there's a shortcut. Did you guys see what I did here? So if the number on the outside, right, this factored number, if you can divide it by the number on the side, this side with the equal sign, then you can do that. It's a shortcut, okay? So step 1 would be to divide, and they're all going to be like this today. Okay, we're all going to divide. So first you divide by 3, okay? So when you divide 45 by 3, you get 15, right? So now I have x plus 5, which was in the parentheses, and that equals 15. I subtract by 5, and I get x equals 10. To check it, I just take the 10 and plug it back in where the x was, right? So now step 3 is to check. So that's 10 plus 5 is 15 times 3 is 45, and it works. Okay, the quiz that you're taking today, every single one of these you should be able to plug back in and check. So should you get 100% if you're doing this? Yes, because if you don't, if it doesn't match, say you got 40 right here, then you would go back and you would redo it until you get it to match. Okay, so you should, every single one of you should get 100% today, which is good for your grade. Right? Okay.
So if it's 23.
Alright, the next one. Okay, same thing. We have 5 times n minus 2 equals a negative 30. Okay, so what should we do first?
Divide by 5.
Divide by 5. Good. So first we divide by 5. So now we should get n minus 2 equals
6.
negative 6. And then what do we do with the negative 2?
Turn it into a pot.
Add it, right?
Yes.
How do you know n minus 2 is negative 6?
Because 5 goes into negative 30 negative 6 times.
Oh.
Okay. Good question. So we add 2 to both sides. Now we have n equals negative 4. Are we done?
No.
No, we should check. Let's plug it in. So if we plug negative 4 in for n, okay, so that means we have negative 4 minus 2, which is negative 6. 5 times negative 6 should equal negative 30, and it does. Any questions on that? Yeah.
Can we do fractions?
Yeah, I'll do fraction one in a little bit, okay?
No.
Okay, so before we do the fraction one, let's just make sure we get this down, okay, with the whole numbers. So I want you guys to try this one. This is 2 times x plus 4 equals 20. 2 times x plus 4 equals 20. Some of you can do that in your head. Just raise your hand when you have it. Okay, Jimmy, what'd you got? X equals 8? Are you sure? Did you do that in your head or did you write it down? Did you, if you did 8 and you plug it back in, you get 12 right here, don't you? Is 2 times 12 20? Uh-oh. Alex, C?
X equals 6.
6. Good. Okay. So you could divide by 2, right?
Yeah.
Divide by 2. Okay, then you have x plus 4 equals 10, and then you subtract 4, right? So x equals 6. Raise your hand if you got 6.
I got stuck.
Wait, wouldn't it be 8 to 2 times 8 is 16 and add the more is
Yeah, but
No, you
6
do-
plus
you do
4
Parentheses first, right?
times 2 equals 20.
Remember in PEMDAS and GEMS we do parentheses or grouping first? Parentheses first. Order of operations. Okay? Alright. But if you solve it algebraically like I showed you where you divide, right, then you're going to get it right. If you guys try to just sit there and plug in numbers, not only is it going to take you forever, but you're probably going to get it wrong.
Well, because you put it equal 20, so it's always have to equal 20.
It does have to equal 20, but if you don't know your order of operations, you're going to get it wrong. And the order of operations says you do what's inside the parentheses first. So if you put 8 there, you're going to get 12. 2 times 12 is not 20. Got it? Okay, try this one. I suggest if you got it wrong that you actually do how I showed you. Do this how I showed you. Okay? Which is algebraically solve it.
-7.
Just raise your hand when you think you know it. Bryce, what'd you get?
-13.
Good. Raise your hand if you got -13. Okay, here's how you do it. Ooh, you're really happy, huh?
I got 1.
Okay, so divide by -7. Well, if you did 1, right? 6 plus 1 is 7 times -7 is not positive. You need a negative right here. Got it? So do it how I show you. So if I get, then I get 6 plus D equals -7. Then I subtract 6. I get D equals -13. And when I plug that back in, 6 minus 13 is -7. -7 times -7.
I didn't see the
49. That's why you should do it my way. You probably should.
I do it her way.
Kind of know what I'm talking
Is this
about.
going to be on the test too? 6-5?
This is not on the test today.
When's the
I like
next
this
quiz?
way, but then
Okay. All right, let's go to the next example now.
I'm screwed.
All right,
it's not mine.
fraction because Zach asked for one. All right, here is a case where you could distribute or you could get rid of the fraction by dividing it, but what do we do to fractions when we divide fractions? What do we multiply by? The R word.
Recessive.
Okay, so we're going to get rid of the fraction, we're going to multiply 10 by the reciprocal. Okay? So this is what we are left with. N plus 6 equals 10 times that reciprocal, which is 3 over 2. Now, if it helps you, you can put a 1 under the 10, but you don't have to.
Why do you change 3 over 2?
Because you want to get rid of 2/3, so what you're doing, in a sense, is you're multiplying the left side by the reciprocal, so it goes away, right?
Why is it right there?
Because whatever you do on the left, you have to do on the right.
I know, but why are you times the 10 over 1 over the 3 over 2?
Because that's 3 over 2, and that's 3 over 2.
You just said you get rid of it.
On the left. Okay, so no, it's a good question though, because you have to think of it like a balancing act, okay? So whatever you did on the left, you have to do on the right. Okay? So if you subtract 2 over here, you have to subtract 2 over here. If you multiply by 5 over here, you have to multiply by 5 over here. Whatever you do on the left, you do on the right. Or if you're working the other way, whatever you do on the right, you have to do on the left. Okay? And that basically balances it out. Okay? If it wasn't an equal sign in the middle, then it wouldn't matter. But if you're trying to make something equal, then whatever you do on one side, you have to do that on the other side. Okay? So now when we multiply by the reciprocal, we could, shortcut here, 2 goes into 10 how many times? 5.
5.
Okay, so we could say now we have n plus 6 equals 15, right? Then what do we do?
Subtract
Subtract what?
by 6.
Yep, subtract 6. So you get n equals
N equals 9.
9. And should you check it?
Yes.
Yeah. So here's how you check it. You put the 9 in for n. 9 plus 6 is
15.
15. And then 2/3. 2/3. So again, do the shortcut. Whenever you have fractions, try to do a shortcut. 3 goes into 15
5 times.
5 times. So 2 times 5 is
10.
10.
Whoa.
Oh, okay now.
So n equals 9?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you guys try this. Actually, no, there's another example before you try. So we have 0.2. We can also have decimals. 0.2. So what do you guys think I should do with this 0.2? How do I get rid of it? What do you think?
Subtract 0.2 from.
But this is multiplying, right? Just like all these were multiplying?
Oh, well, divided.
Divide, good, because the opposite of multiply is divide. So we're going to divide the 0.2 and get rid of it. So when we divide negative 10 by 0.2,
You get 50.
you get negative 50. Don't forget to put your negatives. Question, Nick? You got it? Okay. So now we have c minus 3 equals negative 50. Negative 10 divided by 0.2 is negative 50. Now what should we do?
Add.
Press S. Add 3.
Add 3. Good. Add 3. What's negative 50 plus 3?
Negative 40. Negative.
Negative
47.
47.
47.
Are you finished? You have to check. If you don't check today on your quiz, I have no mercy on you. All right. So let's check.
I'm screwed.
Negative 47 minus 3 should be negative 50. Negative 50. And then 0.2 times negative 50 is negative 10. Any questions on that one? Yes?
Whenever 50 divided by 0.2, it equals 250.
In that calculator?
Yes. 50 divided by 0.2, 250.
Okay, bring it up here.
Oh,
I
wait,
want-
wait, wait.
Mine
Wait,
says
wait, I was doing
252.
it. Okay, so it's 10.
Are you sure you're putting the right one first?
It works now. Yeah.
Okay, you probably had it mixed up.
Yeah.
Okay, now I want you guys to try this one right here because this has a fraction and I want to see if you can get it. You're going to multiply by the what? Reciprocal. Good. You already got it? Let everyone else get there. Hey, Michael, what you got?
No, I was stretching.
Oh, just stretching. You look like you're raising your hand. Okay, Zach.
Negative 63.
No, you're close. Nina?
Negative 57.
Yep. Negative 57. You just went the other way, Zach. That's all. Okay, so here's what you do. multiply by 4, right? That's negative 60, right? Okay, and then you add 3. Add 3. Going in the positive direction. Raise your hand if you got that right. If you plug it back in, you should get negative 60 again, and then that works, right? Okay?
Wait, but what if it's 2 plus?
Then now we change it to 1/2. Then it'd be half. Okay, try this one right here. This is 0.75. 0.75 times 6 plus d equals 12. 0.75 times 6 plus d in parentheses equals 12. Just raise your hand when you think you have it. Okay, Corey, what'd you get?
I got D equals 10.
You're right. Who got 10? Good. So, first we divide by 0.75, right? And what does that give you? What's 3/4 of 12?
16.
Okay? So this is 16. So then you have minus 6, right? And that's 10. And if you plug it back in, you get 16. 3/4 of 16 is 12. Any questions on that one? Just calculator work, really, right? Okay, and then one more for you guys to try. This is the last one. Okay. This is t plus 3 times the 5/11 equals 40. I put the fraction on this side to show you that it works either way. It works either way. You still multiply by the reciprocal. Okay, so try that one. See if you can get it right. Okay, Nicole, what'd you get?
85.
You're right. Raise your hand if you got 85. Raise your hand if you have no idea how 85. Okay, so here's what you do.
88.
Okay, you were close. You had to subtract 3. So you take the 5/11s and you multiply by the reciprocal, right? Which is 11 over 5. Now the shortcut comes here. 5 goes into 40 8 times, right? So now you have this t plus 3 equals 88. Subtract 3, and that's how you get the 85.
Oh, okay.
So you were almost there.
I forgot to subtract.
Yep. Good? Okay. So the practice questions I'm going to have you guys do, I'm going to have you do these, and then we'll do the quiz. And then when you're done with your quiz, you can do your homework. But the practice is 484 and 485. And then the homework is 486, 487. So do the practice now. It's 12 problems. So I'll give you guys about 15 minutes, and then we'll do the quiz.